Welcome back to the channel. Everyone, today, we are witnessing something that goes so far beyond the boundaries of a traditional tennis court. It is genuinely hard to fully comprehend the magnitude of what is unfolding right in front of our eyes. If you thought the biggest story heading into the 2026 U.S. Open was just about who has the best forehand, or who's been grinding the hardest on practice courts, you are fundamentally mistaken. The biggest story right now, the absolute undisputed headline stealing all the oxygen in the room, is happening far away from the baseline. It is happening under the blinding, flashing lights of New York Fashion Week. And the name on absolutely everyone's lips? Alex Eala. Yes, you heard me correctly. The 21-year-old Filipino tennis sensation, the pride of Southeast Asia, has just landed in the Big Apple, and she hasn't just arrived. She has completely and utterly stunned New York. We are getting breaking reports, confirmed sightings, and an absolute avalanche of social media buzz confirming that Alex Eala has received a highly coveted VIP invitation to New York Fashion Week. Luxury brands are suddenly taking notice. And when I say taking notice, I mean they're scrambling, they're panicking, they're knocking down doors trying to figure out how to align their multi-million-dollar logos with the skyrocketing trajectory of this young woman. We need to pause for a second and really digest what this means. It is one thing to be a highly ranked tennis player. It is an entirely different universe to be a crossover cultural icon. We have seen this rare phenomenon only a handful of times in the history of the sport. We saw it with Serena Williams. We saw it with Maria Sharapova. We saw it with Emma Raducanu. But what Alex Eala is doing right now feels entirely unprecedented because of the sheer velocity of her rise and the cultural weight she carries on her shoulders. She is not just representing herself. She is carrying the flag of the Philippines, and the global fashion elite have finally realized the absolute goldmine of charisma, talent, and marketability that she possesses. Just look at the raw data. While other top players are focusing purely on their press conferences, Alex Eala just had her signature $42 Nike shirt sell out in a matter of minutes. Let me repeat that. Minutes. We are talking about a merchandise drop that completely obliterated retail expectations. Meanwhile, merchandise from established global superstars, reigning Grand Slam champions like Carlos Alcaraz, Jannik Sinner, and Aryna Sabalenka, was still sitting right there on the virtual shelves, readily available for purchase. The fans did not hesitate. The Eala army mobilized with a purchasing power that has left retail executives absolutely speechless. This isn't just about liking a player. This is about an intense, passionate demographic that is ready to buy into the Alex Eala lifestyle. And if that wasn't enough to shake the foundations of the sports marketing world, we have to talk about the U.S. Open itself. Eala is stepping onto the courts of Flushing Meadows not just as a competitor, but as a bona fide fashion icon. Nike has unveiled her highly anticipated $140 royal blue U.S. Open dress, and it is already being hailed as an instant classic. This isn't just any piece of athletic wear. It features intricate basketball-inspired mesh detailing, a sleek tailor fit, and subtle nods to her heritage that fans are absolutely eating up. She is walking into New York as the world number 20, fresh off a historic maiden WTA 500 title at the DC Open and a jaw-dropping run to the round of 16 at Wimbledon. The momentum is terrifying for her opponents, but for the luxury world, it is the most beautiful thing they have ever seen. In today's video, we are going to dive incredibly deep into this massive paradigm shift. We are going to analyze exactly how Alex Eala captured the attention of the high fashion world, what this means for her brand value, the shocking details of her new Marriott Bonvoy ambassadorship, and how she is masterfully weaving her proud Filipino heritage into global luxury fashion. We will break down why luxury brands are ditching traditional celebrities to sign athletes like Eala, and what this explosive combination of high fashion and elite tennis means for our upcoming campaign at the U.S. Open. Grab your snacks, get comfortable, and make sure you hit that subscribe button, because you do not want to miss a single second of this breakdown. Let us jump straight into the deep dive. Let us start by unpacking the sheer gravity of this New York Fashion Week appearance. New York Fashion Week is not just an event. It is an institution. It is the gatekeeper of global trends, the ultimate proving ground where relevance is measured not in trophies, but in cultural currency. For a professional athlete, especially a tennis player right on the cusp of the final Grand Slam of the year, To be invited into this exclusive inner circle is a monumental statement. Historically, the fashion industry has always flirted with the tennis world. The sport inherently carries a country club prestige, a certain aesthetic elegance that translates beautifully to luxury campaigns. But the brands at New York Fashion Week are ruthless in their selection process. They do not invite athletes just because they can hit a good cross-court backhand. They invite athletes who possess an aura, a magnetic pull that commands attention, even when they're standing perfectly still in a crowded room. Alex Eala possesses exactly that aura. When she walked into those exclusive Fashion Week venues, she wasn't just a tourist taking photos. She was the main event. Luxury executives are looking at her and seeing a flawless intersection of youth, immense talent, staggering international appeal, and untapped market of fiercely loyal fans. The Philippines has always been a massive consumer of global pop culture, sports, and fashion. But for the longest time, the luxury sector failed to properly platform a homegrown sports star on this specific pedestal. Alex Eala has completely shattered that glass ceiling. When she poses for cameras, wearing high-end couture, mixing designer pieces with elevated streetwear, she is signaling to brands like Chanel, Gucci, and Prada that she is ready for the blue-chip campaigns. And let's talk about the hard numbers behind this marketability. Because in the business of sports, numbers dictate everything. I brought it up in the intro, but we really need to dissect the Nike phenomenon. Nike is the undisputed titan of sports apparel. They have endless data, infinite resources, and they know exactly who moves a needle. When they released Alex Eala's signature $42 t-shirt, they certainly expected it to do well. What they didn't expect was a digital stampede. The fact that her merchandise sold out in mere minutes, while gear from the likes of Alcaraz and Sabalenka remained fully stocked, is a terrifyingly powerful metric. It tells luxury brands that Eala's fans aren't just passive viewers. They are active, aggressive consumers. They have purchasing power, and they are relentlessly dedicated to supporting her journey. If she can move athletic wear at that velocity, imagine what she can do for a luxury handbag, a high-end fragrance, or a designer watch collection. She already sports a Chanel bag worth over 150,000 pesos on the resale market, cementing her personal taste in high-end goods. This leads us directly to the mastermind design of her U.S. Open kit. Nike knows they have a generational superstar on their hands, and they have treated her as such. The $140 royal blue U.S. Open dress that she will be wearing is a masterclass in athletic storytelling. They didn't just give her a generic template from the standard catalog. This dress was designed with immense intention. It features this incredible basketball-inspired mesh, which is a brilliant dual homage. On one hand, it pays tribute to the host city of New York and America's deep love for basketball. But on the other hand, anyone who knows anything about the Philippines knows that it is a basketball-crazed nation. It is a subtle, genius wink to her homeland. The vibrant old royal blue colorway is undeniably striking, and fans have immediately interpreted it as a nod to the brilliant blue found on the Philippine flag. When she steps out onto the hard courts, potentially under the blinding lights of Arthur Ashe Stadium for a marquee night session, that dress is going to absolutely pop against the blue surface of the court. It is designed to look triumphant. It is designed to make her look like she has already won the match before the first serve is even struck. But Alex Eala's fashion journey isn't just dictated by global conglomerates like Nike. What makes her style so incredibly authentic and deeply resonant is how she intentionally incorporates her Filipino heritage into her wardrobe. She is not abandoning her roots for the sake of international assimilation. She is amplifying her roots on the global stage. If you read her recent feature in Vogue Philippines, which, by the way, is another massive milestone for a 21-year-old athlete, she spoke with such profound maturity about her personal style. She explicitly described her ideal look as girly, confident, and a little edgy. But more importantly, she talked about her love for the modern Filipiniana. Remember the Laureus World Sports Awards earlier this year? The red carpet was packed with the greatest athletes on the planet, wearing standard European designer gowns. And what did Alex Eala wear? She wore a breathtaking modern Filipiniana, designed by her uncle, the renowned Filipino designer Red Eala. It featured sculptural bolero sleeves, soft draping, and ivory elegance that completely stole the show. It was a flawless execution of cultural pride married perfectly with high fashion. And she doesn't just do this for fancy red carpets. She has worn delicate Sampaguita-inspired accessories right there on the grueling tennis court. She has powerful Filipino quotes printed directly on her athletic kits. Kung may itinanim may anahin, what you plant, you will one day reap. And kapag lumago, hindi nahihinto, once it grows, it cannot be stopped. These aren't just marketing slogans thought up by a boardroom. They're the core philosophy of a young woman who deeply understands exactly where she comes from and exactly where she is going. The corporate world is obviously scrambling to get a piece of this action. Let's talk about the Marriott Bonvoy deal. This is not a small regional endorsement. Marriott Bonvoy has named to the face of their massive Tennis the World campaign across the entire Asia-Pacific region. There are rumors swirling across the industry that this partnership came with a staggering $2 million price tag and unprecedented perks like unlimited first-class flights. While those exact financial numbers are closely guarded corporate secrets, the sheer magnitude of the partnership is undeniable. Marriott is one of the largest, most prestigious hospitality brands in the world. They cater to a premium, luxury-focused demographic. By choosing Alex Eala as their primary ambassador, they are stating unequivocally that she represents global excellence, high aspiration, and luxurious mobility. She is now operating in the same echelon of marketability as the top tier of Hollywood actors and international pop icons. And yet, despite the millions of dollars pouring in, despite the VIP Fashion Week invitations, despite the Vogue magazine features and the instantly sold-out merchandise, the most remarkable thing about Alex Eala is her absolute refusal to lose focus on what actually matters: the tennis. It is so incredibly easy for young prodigies to get swept up in the glamour. We have seen it happen time and time again in this sport. The magazine covers arrive, the fashion brands call, the bank accounts swell, and suddenly the footwork gets a little slower, the practice sessions get a little shorter, and the competitive hunger starts to fade. But Alex Eala is built fundamentally different. She is a battle-tested graduate of the Rafael Nadal Academy, and you simply do not survive that rigorous environment without developing an ironclad, obsessive work ethic. When asked by Vogue about her sudden wealth and massive endorsement deals, she didn't talk about buying a fleet of supercars or a sprawling mansion in Beverly Hills. She stated clearly that her biggest investment is her future. She saves carefully and pours her money right back into her body and into her game. She spends heavily on elite physiotherapy, state-of-the-art recovery technology, specialized high-performance nutrition, and making sure she travels in absolute comfort, so her physical form is perfectly primed for competition. She understands intrinsically that the fashion deals, the luxury brand attention, and the screaming fans in New York are all a direct byproduct of her winning tough tennis matches. The moment the forehand stops firing and the footwork slows down, the fashion world moves on to the next shiny object. She knows that her tennis racket is the vital engine that drives this entire global empire. And what a spectacular empire she is building. At just 21 years old, she is currently ranked world number 20. She just had a sensational North American hardcourt swing, capturing her first WTA 500 title at the Mubadala DC Open in Washington. She made massive international headlines by reaching the round of 16 at Wimbledon, sending the defending champion IGA Swiatek packing. She is not just a marketing hype job. She is a legitimate, terrifying force on the WTA Tour. She is hitting the ball with significantly more weight. Her lateral movement has become infinitely more explosive, and her mental fortitude, her ability to stay ruthlessly composed in high-pressure, breakpoint situations, has evolved leaps and bounds from just 12 months ago. As she heads into this U.S. Open, she is projected to receive a seeding for the very first time in her career at a Grand Slam. This is a massive tactical advantage. It means she will avoid the top-ranked killers in the opening rounds, giving her a very real, tangible opportunity to play her way into the tournament, find her baseline rhythm, and make a deep, devastating run into the second week. And you better believe that every single time she steps onto the court in that royal blue dress, the cameras will be flashing, the fashion critics will be taking detailed notes, and the luxury brand executives will be watching from their expensive luxury suites, counting their lucky stars that they got in on the Alex Eala business before asking price doubles once again. So, as we pull back and look at the grand tapestry of what is happening right now, we have to acknowledge that we are witnessing the birth of a generational icon. Alex Eala's stunning New York Fashion Week is not just a cute side story for the tabloids. It is a profound declaration of arrival. It is the exact moment the world officially realized that the Philippines has produced a superstar whose appeal heavily transcends the white chalk lines of a tennis court. Luxury brands are suddenly taking notice because they are absolutely desperate for authenticity. In an era of manufactured influencers and heavily curated artificial social media personalities, Alex Eala offers something breathtakingly real. She is a fierce, relentless competitor who battles for 3 hours on a scorching hard court, sweating, fighting, and bleeding for every single point, and then can seamlessly transition into a high-fashion editorial looking like she was born specifically for the runway. This duality is her ultimate superpower. It is the exact same blueprint that turned elite athletes like Michael Jordan, David Beckham, and Serena Williams into global billionaires. They understood early on that you have to completely dominate your sport, but you also have to capture the imagination of the general public. Alex Eala is capturing imaginations by the millions. The way she proudly honors her uncle's designs, the way she fearlessly wears a modern Filipiniana on global stages, the way she embeds the unbreakable fighting spirit of her people into her very aesthetic. It makes her utterly impossible to root against. She is carrying the heavy hopes of an entire nation, and instead of crumbling under that immense, suffocating pressure, she is turning it into a brilliant diamond. The 2026 U.S. Open is rapidly shaping up to be one of the most lucrative and highly watched tournaments in the history of the sport, boasting a mind-boggling total prize pool of over $108 million. But for Alex Eala, the real prize isn't just a massive paycheck at the end of the fortnight. The real prize is a golden opportunity to permanently cement her legacy on the biggest, loudest, most unforgiving stage in the sporting world. New York City demands excellence. It demands unparalleled showmanship. And if her Fashion Week takeover is any indication, she knows exactly how to give the city a spectacular show. When she walks out of that tunnel in that royal blue Nike mesh dress, when the New York crowd roars her name, we are going to see exactly what this 21-year-old phenom is truly made of. The luxury brands have placed their expensive bets. Marriott Bonvoy has handed her the keys to the world. Nike has officially crowned her their new retail queen. The toughest fashion critics have given her their rare stamp of approval. But now, all the talking stops, and it all comes down to the yellow fuzzy ball. It all comes down to the grueling baseline exchanges, the crucial breakpoints, and the sheer, unadulterated willpower required to survive the exhausting 2-week marathon of a Grand Slam tournament. I want to hear from every single one of you watching this video right now. We are building a massive, passionate community here, and your opinions genuinely drive this channel forward. Head down to the comment section right now and let me know your thoughts. What do you think about Alex Eala taking over New York Fashion Week? Are you as obsessed with her royal blue U.S. Open dress as the rest of the fashion world is? Do you think this massive wave of off-court attention and luxury brand endorsements is going to fuel her to a deep, historic run at the U.S. Open? Or do you worry it might act as a distraction? And most importantly, how far do you realistically think she will go in this tournament? Let us get a massive, spirited debate going in the comments below. If you enjoyed this comprehensive deep dive, if you love seeing incredible athletes like Alex Eala break boundaries and shatter expectations, you absolutely must hit that like button. It directly tells the YouTube algorithm that this is the kind of premium, in-depth sports and culture content you want to see, and it helps the channel grow tremendously. If you haven't already, smash that subscribe button and violently ring the notification bell so you never miss a single update. We're going to be obsessively tracking Alex Eala's every move throughout the U.S. Open, analyzing her matches point by point, breaking down her post-match interviews, and of course, keeping a very close eye on what she wears next. Thank you so much for tuning in and spending your time with us. The collision of high fashion and high stakes tennis has never looked this incredibly good, and we are so unbelievably lucky to be witnessing the rise of Alex Eala in real time. Stay passionate. Stay invested in the sport, and I will see all of you in the very next video as we fully prepare for the beautiful madness of the U.S. Open. Until next time, take care